but it also says testing my broadcast, so may have to wait just a second. But so far everything looks good. I hope everybody's doing well, and hope everybody's having a beautiful Saturday morning. It's nice and sunny here. I hope it is for y'all as well. And there, my test is over. So in that words, good morning, YouTube world. I hope everybody's doing great this morning. It's a beautiful morning here in eastern New Mexico. I hope that everybody's feeling well. Nobody's got the thing, and everybody's gardens are doing well. Homestead's doing well. Urban homestead's doing well. I don't care if you're homesteading on a porch in an apartment or on 1,000 acres. It's all a mindset, people. It's all a mindset. It's all in your head. If you want to be a homesteader, then be a homesteader. Like I said, I don't care if you're in an apartment in Brooklyn or out in the middle of the country in Wyoming or where you're at, you know. It's all a mindset. It's a state of mind being a homesteader. We look out for one another. We help one another. We take care of one another. And we take care of others as well. That's one of the best parts about being a homesteader, is that we get to show the world what the world should be like. We get to teach people that it's okay to help your neighbor, and it's good to be a good neighbor, and we share and we share knowledge, and let's face it, sometimes sharing the knowledge is more important than anything else, because sometimes people just need to know that, you know, hey, I can do that. So, but anyways, enough yammering. Like I said, I hope everybody's doing well. It's a beautiful morning, and we got our coffee, and so we're here and ready to talk about, chat about, whatever, anything y'all want to. I'm up and rolling this morning, so my coffee was a little slow this morning, so I haven't had quite as much coffee as I normally do by this time. But it's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. And it looks like it's going to be a good day to be out in the garden as well. My tattletale on my phone here says that it's supposed to be like 85. I think it said it was supposed to be today. Let's see. 89, sorry. Supposed to be 89 today. That's not so bad. I mean, it says 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. Yeah, I hate the wind, but, you know, we'll make do. Supposed to be 90 tomorrow. And then it looks like we're just going to stay hot. So, unfortunately. But it is what it is, right? We deal with all kinds of things when you're, especially when you're homesteaders, more so than other people do, because the weather tends to affect, especially us gardeners, more, and people with animals more. Because you got to go look after animals, you got to tend your garden, and so the heat's not going to do some of my stuff any favors, but my spinach and such. But it'll be okay. The couple of types of spinach that I planted this year are both pretty heat tolerant. I planted a New Zealand spinach, which technically I guess isn't a true spinach, but it flavored like spinach and stuff like that. So, and we also planted a oh, now I can't think, a Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. So we got that going, and we're looking forward to eating off of that this year. we got some other good stuff planted this year, so I'm looking forward to really going to town and enjoying our garden this year. So I'm, like I said, I'm looking forward to enjoying the garden this year. It has been good for us in the past. It's been last year we had a very good garden. Planted a little too much zucchini. Hey, good morning. How are you guys this morning over there at Food Forest Permaculture? So I mean, we do what we do, and we just keep on trucking, right? So hopefully the weather will be a little cooperative with us this year here in eastern New Mexico, and it won't be scorching hot to just decimate the stuff in my garden. But like that, huh? Yeah, I got that. I won that couple 3 weeks ago in a drawing, the contest that she had. So I promised her I'd wear it as soon as I got it. So so doing well. It's like I was saying, it's a beautiful day. We're enjoying the weather. Hasn't been too just like blazing hot yet. It's been a little crazy, but hey, Pizza Little Homestead, good morning. How are you this morning? It hadn't been just like too blazing yet, but we are coming on to it. I mean, it's supposed to be 89 today and in the 90s pretty much all next week, and so it is what it is. The corn's coming up good. Good morning, Emma. How are you this morning? Corn's coming up good. The okra's coming up decent. I mean, it's still little, but it'll get there. Thomas Schmidt Homestead Projects. Good morning. And so it's all good. Like I said, the corn's doing probably the best. The corn and the beans are probably doing the best out of everything. The corn's most of it's anywhere from 8 to 12 inches tall already. So that's not too bad. At least I don't think so. Especially in the ground I've got. The okra's still pretty small. The peas and beans are doing pretty good. They're knocking on about a foot tall, and the squash I planted's doing well. The Cherokee tan pumpkins I planted are doing well. Got those from Anna over at Mimsey's Garden. She sent me a few seeds, and we're gonna get those going. I decided that the only other pumpkins I'm planting this year, I'm planting in the front yard. Excuse me. I planted in the front yard to keep them as far away from the Cherokee tans as possible to maintain the integrity of the strain. So I'm looking forward to that. But I am looking forward to seeing those Cherokee tan pumpkins. I can't wait. I'm eager to get them going and spread the wealth and share the seeds and get this strain of pumpkin back out there in the world and prevalent again. So I'm glad to be part of that. But anywho, the garden is doing well. Spinach is all still pretty small. The chard is still pretty small. Like I said, the peas and beans are probably doing the best out of everything. Well, and of course the garlic that I planted last year. But how's the weather where y'all are at? I know, like I said, here it's beautiful and sunny this morning, mid 60s. Supposed to be pretty nice today. Hope to get out in the garden here in just a little bit and get everything watered. And good morning, Lisa Lee. How are you this morning? And once I get everything watered, then the wife wants to go see if we can't find a small kiddie pool for the girls to play in, lounge in. So instead of being cooped up in the house all the time, so not having much of a yard or much real lawn to speak of. It's more weeds than lawn, but that's the price you pay out here. But I figured to put up a small pool and let the girls enjoy it, you know. Plus the weeds get watered, you know. Certainly can't call it lawn, so we'll call it the weeds. All right, Pete says it's sunny there. That's good. That's real good. I know my mom and pops are in northern Georgia and 66 in New York. Yep. Well, we're getting back to that here, unfortunately, Thomas. It's supposed to be 90 all week, so or in the 90s, but it's eastern New Mexico. What do you expect, right? But yeah, I know my folks in northern Georgia said they'd been getting a lot of rain. They're hoping it's decent this week so that they don't have so much rain. So breezy and cool in Reno. Oh yeah. See, I remember what that's like, Lisa. I remember what that's like. I used to live an hour from Reno. I lived over on the California side, over near Quincy. So I remember the weather there. God, I do miss it. I do miss it. The one thing I think I truly miss is I miss the cool down at night. The one thing you don't get a lot of here in eastern New Mexico, well, when it's windy, you do here, but it's still, sometimes it's like being in a blow dryer. Other times it cools down okay, but at least in the mountains, you get a good 30 to 40 degree temperature drop every evening. It's fantastic, you know, and I miss that. But I think the rain's finally letting up. It's supposed to be in the 70s and 80s this week. Nice, perfect weather. So yep, absolutely perfect. We like 70s and 80s, don't we? Oh, no way. I used to go fishing. Lisa said Lake Davis is supposed to open this week. I used to go fishing on Lake Davis all the time. For those of you that don't know, Lake Davis is just 15 miles north of Portola, California. Looks like my video froze up. My audio's still working. Good morning, Shayla. Lake Davis was where I used to go fishing all the time. I went to Lake Davis and Antelope Lake and Butt Lake and Almanor and pretty much all over up in there. But I enjoyed it. The area up there was just absolutely beautiful. So unfortunately, it's part of California. And unless they change what the state's like, then I don't foresee ever going back there to live. That's for sure. Good morning, Carrie. How are you this morning? Absolutely, it is the kids' preferred camp location. I mean, for most kids, I mean, it's so beautiful up there, and the lake is always such a perfect temperature. Unfortunately, I know for years they've been fighting the northern pike problem, but hopefully they will. They have got most of that eradicated and have just decided to leave it be for a little while, let's say. So I know when I was there, it was a big problem. That's right. You got to have coffee. Come on. That's what it's all about. It's morning coffee, right? Get us going in the morning. Some conversation, and eat some breakfast. Make some breakfast. I know a few days ago I made breakfast for dinner for my wife. So so of course a lot of people call it SOS. Some people call it chip beef and gravy. Some people just call it gravy on toast. So for those of you that don't know, it's SHIT on a shingle, SOS. But we had some leftover roast beef lunch meat, and so I made some homemade gravy with it and gave it to my wife for dinner. None of us were really hungry that night, so we just made a little something and rolled on. You know, it was pretty warm that day, but boy, she just loved it. I love breakfast for dinner. Well, Shayla says breakfast for dinner is the best. Yes, it is. I'm a firm believer that breakfast could be eaten every day, all day, you know. Carrie says someone went camping last week. They were denied because of no reservations. Wow. New rule. Yeah, lots of new rules because of the thing. So yep. Outside work should be good this weekend. I mean, you have water, so you're doing good. There you go. Yeah, I hear you. Not looking forward to the water bill. I know, unfortunately, being here in town on city water, I wish that I had a whole house filter for this place, but I'm just not gonna break down and spend the money for something that I don't own. We did get a couple of things, and you know, we got an Alexa Pure, and that video should be out tomorrow, I think. And we got some other stuff, but I'm thinking about getting a under the sink water filter, but just to get rid of some of the impurities in the local drinking water. So Jennifer girls made pancakes. There you go, and the oldest cooked eggs. See, that's perfect. Nice part of California is they maintain the grounds. In Northern California, they do fantastic work, especially up there in Plumas County, where you're headed, Lisa. They do fantastic work. The Forest Service always takes very good care of the federal campgrounds. Always have. And good care of the roads. I know because my pops used to be part of the road crew up there. So, but they've always done very well up there, and they maintain everything real well. So, unfortunately, sometimes you get groups of people in there that just throw their trash everywhere, and that stinks. But the nice part is there's a lot of volunteer people that go up there and will happily clean up, you know. So Shayla says they're supposed to get a little bit of rain today. Starting tomorrow, supposed to have great weather. There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about, Emma. Don't pay for the water, just the electricity to pump it. See, and that's exactly what we're talking about too. Is if we can get a place, one necessity is a well. I do not want to be tied to the. I prefer not to be tied to the grid at all. But if we are, it'd probably be electric only. I would like to have a big cistern for my auxiliary water, and a big well, and solar power, as much solar as possible. So, and I know when we lived in Northern California when I was a kid, we had two wells. So, and it was awesome. So, Shayla, I'm honestly so far we really love the Alexa Pure. The only thing we're noticing is the water quality from the city still isn't great. So there's a teeny tiny bit of aftertaste, and I know that just comes from using the city water in it, and instead of using reverse osmosis. But I know if your city water wasn't as crappy as it is here, then it would be outstanding. Or if you had well water with a little iron in it or something like that, the Alexa Pure does fantastic. Honestly, I haven't had a problem with it. As long as it's cold, it's fantastic. So I just roll on. Ecocentric Homestead, good morning. How are you this morning? So, oh, there you go. Lisa's got chard, kale, calendula, borage. Nice. Hopefully the beans and squash and melons will pop up this week. I hope so too. Ecocentric says they remain on the grid because it's supplied by hydroelectric. See, now where I grew up in Northern California, everything was hydroelectric. So we didn't have anything other than hydroelectric there. So it was fantastic. It's all nice and clean, and So Shayla says she grew up on well water, filters your city water beautifully. That's all. See, now that's awesome. That's awesome. See, now ours does a great job. I mean, our city water is terrible if it's not filtered. I run it through the Alexa Pure, and as far as I'm concerned, it tastes fine. So, my wife says it's got a tiny bit of an aftertaste, but like I said, that just might be the fact that they put a ton of fluoride and chlorine in it. So, but as far as I'm concerned, it knocks it out just fine. So. A few years ago, replacing the top part of the pump cost $1,000. Yep. Emma says they have a filter in the basement where the water comes into the house. Had it tested. There you go. I mean, you gotta love. I love well water. I really do, especially if you're in an area that you don't have to worry about too many impurities. Being up in the mountains where we were in Northern California, didn't have to worry about it. Where I was in outside of Marysville, California, I didn't have to worry about it. I loved having a well. A lot of other people were on city water and were constantly complaining about it. And I mean, so if I got my way, I want my own water supply. I'd rather have to pay for a pump or pay to repair a pump than drink city water. So, Emma, I bet they do. Southern California water's awful. So, I love the well water. I miss the well water almost as much as I miss the mountains. So. Kiri, yeah, it can be crippling expensive when your well breaks down. I'm an old school prepper. I've been taught for years that 2 is good, 3 is better. So my pops always had extra parts for the well. Even so far as some friends of theirs were getting rid of a pump, and Pops went and picked it up. So we even had an extra well pump. So, which was outstanding. I mean, you can't beat having an extra pump, especially when you got 2 wells. So, Cassandra said that's what they did. Inline filter, yeah, just as it comes into the house, exactly. So yeah, I know the first time. Sorry, got a stray hair in my mustache. I know the first time our well went down when I was a kid. Pops, we saved until the next paycheck, and then the paycheck after that, things were real tight. So things were real tight for a little while until we could get it fixed, you know. But I remember that as a kid. But the nice part about a well is that, I mean, usually you got 10, 12 years before you usually have to worry about anything. And if you put a little bit of money away here and there, you know, I mean, then you're usually pretty good. We put back savings for, yeah, exactly. You got to put back something, you know. Oh, 420 feet, Kiri. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a serious deep well. That's part of the problem of living in the desert, right? Got to go a long way for water. Or of course living on a volcanic cap. So I know we had some friends that their well was 690 feet. So I honestly, I don't know how they could afford to even drill a well that deep, but but 690 feet, yeah. Well pump went bad, went to Lowe's and got a new one. Yeah, you can do that if your well's not like super deep, and you've got you know, I mean, you don't have a ton of pipe to pull, or I mean, one of our wells in Northern California was only 60 feet, and the other one was actually 53, and the other one was 125. So, I mean, we didn't mind pulling the pipe for those, but oh, sure, Kiri. I know they call it Texas Hill Country, but it's still high desert. Come on, we know. It is nicer down there than it is here, though. I'll give you that. But see, I got 2,200 feet on you. We are at 4,300 feet here. So at least you got some hills and stuff like that down there. We got flat. The chickens are doing outstanding. They are, Lisa, they love their new little chicken tractor. I move it about every 3 or 4 days. But they're enjoying it. They're getting to the point now where I may have to clip their wings because they're getting to the point now where they're trying to fly up to the edge every time I open the lid. Yes, Lisa, baby hills. Baby hills. Sheila says her husband didn't mind the chlorine or the fluoride in the city water, but I won't drink it. Yeah, it's definitely no good for canning. So, exactly right. It'll make your canned food have an off flavor. So, curious. Oh, you see that? Now that's nice. That's nice that you're sitting on an aquifer. So I mean, yeah, your well might be 420 feet deep, but at least sitting on an aquifer, you know you've got good, clean water. So I know when I was in East Texas, I could have hand drilled a well. The water table was so high to the surface, so which would have been nice. So, yep, yep. Yeah, the chicks are doing great. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying the fact that that they're doing well. I've got a friend from work who I talked to a few days ago, and he was getting some more chickens. I guess a neighbor dog came over and killed all but a couple of his, so he had to go get some more. Unfortunately, he was transferring them from their temporary enclosure into their permanent enclosure. He said, I went around the front to get a couple things. I come back around the back and the dog's in the pen. So that's just terrible, you know. And he lives out in the country, so his neighbor's a ways away. But Emma has one chicken always getting out, Lacey. A silver-laced Wyandotte. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, all of ours are Americanas. So I'm enjoying them. I'm looking forward to the green eggs, blue eggs. So hopefully we eventually, once we have a place of our own, then I plan on getting. I'd like to get a black Jersey giant rooster to breed with the Americanas. See if I can't increase the egg size a little bit, as well as darken them up a little bit. Breed my own olive eggers, or maybe I'll get a few Cropper Moran chicks, you know. But fortunately, you know, Lisa, it sucks that he lost those chicks. Fortunately for us, there's a large nursery in the area, and they pretty much cover most of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, up into Colorado, and that's Privet's nursery. And so all the tractor supplies around here, and all that, they all get their birds from Privet's. So that's where we got them from. And he actually called to make sure that they were going to have them. No, Foghorn Leghorn was a white leghorn. But yeah, similar. The Jersey Giants, as far as I recall, are a derivative of the Leghorn breed. Welsumers are beautiful too. I'm a big fan. It sounds terrible, you know. Here I am in the city, and I know I grew up homesteading, but I like pretty birds. And chickens are no different. So the silver-laced Wyandottes are beautiful. The Welsumers are beautiful. The Morans are beautiful. You know, the Americanas are beautiful. We've got some unbelievable colors, and we were really blessed to get some good colors. They had the reason I ended up with 7 is because that's how many they had left, and I wasn't going to leave. You know, I only wanted 6, but I wasn't going to leave 1 there by itself. So I got all 7. Daughter's kinetic sand on the couch. My 6-year-old had her birthday this past Monday, and we got her some kinetic sand, which she just absolutely loves, but it gets everywhere. Because it's kind of like Play-Doh. She treats it kind of like Play-Doh, but it comes apart easier and gets everywhere. On the upside, it's easy to vacuum up. It's real easy to vacuum up. Emma, I remember you saying that your rooster was a jerk. Shayla says she wanted to start with chickens, but her husband kept telling you no. Hey, you know, quail are awesome. They really are. But I agree with Emma. And I'm not kidding. Sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. Yeah, just get a bunch of little peepers and tell him they're quail. I know he'll know the difference, but that's beside the point. You can just say, oh, they told me they were quail. See, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. That's why I only wanted 6. I've got them, and you're not supposed to have them. So as long as they're quiet, which Americanas are generally pretty quiet birds. So I may or may not have a couple of roosters, and if I do, then that's okay. They go to freezer camp. I'm not opposed to that. You know. But we'll just have to wait and see about that. Carrie, that's exactly true. Being single, no one can tell you no, except your wallet. Your wallet can tell you no. Dang thing. It's noisy too. But yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to a good grow season. I'm looking forward to these little peepers growing up and giving us some nice eggs. I may, like I said early, we're planning on going to Wally World today to pick up one of the little kiddie swimming pools, and maybe some squirt guns for the girls so they can play out in the yard. If the chickens acted like rabbits, you'd have 100 of them. Exactly. I've thought about doing that too. And after talking to a few of my homesteader friends, I probably will get some rabbits. So that's yeah. See, that's how. Emma says that's how she got her younger flock. Matt knew she was going to order chickens, but didn't know you're ordering 14 more plus ducks. But so we'll probably go get a swimming pool, some squirt guns, keep the girls busy. But I'm looking forward to these little peepers getting bigger, giving us some nice eggs. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to trying to find some place that maybe we can purchase. Even around here, I wouldn't mind if I could get someplace cheap enough that I could pay off in the next 6 or 7 years. And then I wouldn't be so worried about selling it because it would be paid for. So he's concerned about the cost. You think he doesn't want to build a coop? Well, show him my video, Shayla. I built this thing all out of pallet wood except for 2 store-bought 2x4s. You know, what's $7? So I think the whole thing cost me about $65. So I was loving it. I went and picked up a bunch of pallets. I picked up some long pallets from a distributor in the area, and I was able to completely build my little chicken tractor. And I very easily could have turned it into a larger chicken coop. I was thinking about turning it into a chicken Taj Mahal with a second level, you know, but which I may do still, but right now it's usually pretty good. Yes, Dollar General does sometimes have the pools, but they're not the bigger ones. Usually they have the 4 or 5 footers. I'd like to get one of the bigger ones. The water guns, definitely. Those things are fun. 40 dozen eggs a month to the food pantry. Wow. That is fantastic. That is awesome of you. Thomas Schmidt says they donate 40 dozen eggs a month to the food pantry because they get 5 to 6 dozen eggs a day. That is fantastic. Oh, Kiri, that stinks. Your broody hen failed. Oh, man. See, it worked, didn't it, Emma? It worked. My wife wasn't super on board with this. She's a little more city than I am. Okay, a lot more, but she has joined in. She likes being outside with me. She doesn't mind helping, and you know that's fantastic. And she loves all the stuff that the garden produces. So I'm just looking forward to everything going well. So I'm hoping that we'll have a good garden this year. I'm really looking forward to that. So oh, there you go, Kiri. Get that other broody hen on them duck eggs. Heck yeah. We used to have a bantam. Actually, we had 3 of them, but we had one black bantam hen that she was the best mother. And oh my goodness, did that chicken raise some babies. It seemed like she was broody every other month. So my wife does too, certain things. Emma. And our bantam hen would raise anything. It didn't matter what it was. I think I've told this before, but we would put her on duck eggs all the time. We had some Muscovies and some Mallards, and we would put her on duck eggs all the time. And it was hilarious watching her standing at the water's edge, panicked, because the baby ducks were out in the water, and she'd be calling to them. And the funny part was they'd all come. So, but yeah, I think the most babies she ever had was one time we had her on. I think she had a dozen chicken eggs and 4 duck eggs at once, and that's a lot of eggs for a small hen, you know. But she managed to keep them all covered. I don't know how, but I really don't. So 2 chicken eggs showing up with the duck eggs. Well, you know, sometimes you get a couple extra eggs in there every once in a while. But sometimes it's fun, you know. I love having a good broody hen, because they will, especially one that's a good mama, because they will take care of everything for you. They really will. I mean, I love the fact that our bantam used to raise ducks, you know, because the Muscovy ducks were terrible. Honestly, the ones we had anyway. They were terrible mothers. But, so we didn't really let them sit a whole lot, because they were terrible. But you know, you do what you do, and you let the chickens do what they're going to do, right? So they were fun, and that's what's the most important. So, and they provided us with nice eggs and stuff like that. So I loved being able to raise the ducks. Of course, we ate them too, so we like duck. But um, I've been an avid duck hunter for years, so bird hunter, period. Like I said, I like pretty birds. I like to eat some of them too. But we butcher a pig. See, now, Schmitz, that's exactly what I used to do. When I lived in East Texas, I went hunting, especially pig hunting. I went pig hunting 7,500 times a year. And I was probably successful about 35% of the time, maybe more. And usually, I mean, if you actually consider it, I was probably more than that. But on an average year, I donated 30 hogs to Hunters for the Hungry. I would just take them to the same butcher that I used, and I would just take them down there and drop them off, and he would make sure they got where they needed to go. But Hunters for the Hungry is a fantastic program. So, and they take care of people. So, I don't know how many I donated over the years. So, well over 100. I know that because East Texas has a ton of hogs. East Texas and Louisiana, so tons of hogs. So, replanted your tomatoes for the third time? Holy cow! Hopefully you'll get some this time. I have no idea, Emma, if we're going to watch the launch today. Probably not. Honestly, we probably won't. But yeah, you got to check on them, Emma. Got to make sure that she's still sitting on them eggs. Silver appleyard ducks, yeah. You know, I've heard that about a lot of people and a lot of different animals. Oh yeah, they're great mamas, or oh they go broody all the time. Yeah, whatever. I think a lot of it has to do with environment, and some of it has to do with just whatever genetics that particular duck happens to have. Even if the breed is generally broody, sometimes that line isn't, you know. But a Christian Hunters group had a venison barbecue under a bridge for the homeless every year. Yeah, exactly. I think it's a fantastic program. I think that anytime you can donate to and help out your fellow man, we should. I mean, like I said at the very beginning, homesteading is a state of mind, and I don't care if you're on a balcony in Brooklyn or on 1,000 acres in the middle of Wyoming. You know, it's all a state of mind. It's about helping out doing better for your family, helping out your fellow man, you know, and woman, doing better for the ecology, doing better for our country, and doing better for each other. We were all put here for a reason. We were all we may not know what it is, but some of our strengths may be somebody else's weakness, and that's what we should be doing, is helping each other out. So we should always help if we can. I'm a firm believer in that. I know that people drive by the people that the panhandlers and stuff, and you know, but if I've got the extra, I give them a little bit. You know, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, we've got a guy here local that is in the Walmart parking lot quite a bit, but he actually has a sign that says we'll work for food, or we'll work for money. He has a lot of his own tools, and will happily come and do stuff for you. So instead of you just giving it to him, he'd rather work for it. So, which is awesome. But anyway, I know I've been rambling on for about 50 minutes here, and I promised Mama Z that I would wear the shirt that I got from her, and I am. But so I'm going to cut this off and give us all plenty of time to go over to see what Mama Z's got cooking today, and hope that everybody has a blessed day, and that everybody does well, and that your gardens do well. And anyway, y'all just have a good one. No dough.